Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what a first half of the season he's had, leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. He's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for him.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, Richardson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here. A late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Back to throw. Richardson. Touchdown, Dolphins! A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins, on just 2 plays, have taken the lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off play action. Jackson. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Good hands there defensively at 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Jackson running again, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now headed the other way, they're across midfield. There'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their second drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Touchdown! A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point attempt to come here. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And they are winners of 2 straight games as they've climbed back to 500 now on the season.
And you and I both know that this can be a tough team to figure out sometimes, because I remember a few weeks ago you and I having a conversation where we both thought that this was a season that could get away from them pretty quickly. Obviously not.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. Pretty good, as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Returnable here for Davis. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting, as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, Richardson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play there for the Dolphins. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Looking to throw. Richardson. Space to run past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
On 2nd down now, it's Burns. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Davis now to return it. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there for the Dolphins.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the end.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. The first quarter of this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 28-0. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's Jackson to throw. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Jackson from the shotgun. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
This is brought in at the 21. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and out will come the offense as they take over. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now Richardson on 1st and 10. Trying to lay one up deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Second and goal from the 1. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. Then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. A
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter...
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Throwing is Jackson. Complete here. It's Hyde. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
First down, Singleton, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On second down, Singleton. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. Doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run on 1st down. Burns. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Well, what a quick turnaround there. They get the football.
Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs. If you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you're talking about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. On 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Jackson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. The Ravens send their punter out now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taking it about the 36. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Watch 36. 36 to Mike. Mike, 36.
To throw is Richardson. Throwing on 1st down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Hands it off out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to, when you want to. That play calling is working very well for them right now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
See if he can do just that. On second down, there's the option going left. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On second down now, it's Burns, and he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 9 yards on the run there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Richardson on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Richardson. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point right down the middle, and a route is on here in this first half. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards.
yards to score it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now they got to get to the line quickly. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin in the Meadowlands, an AFC East matchup between New England and the New York Jets. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are hanging in there in the playoff race as they jump above 500 now to 4-3 on the year. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. A touchdown pass there for Jordan Love. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer.
The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raven offense set to start this 3rd quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Not much there, only a yard.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He was a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Jackson now. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. It's taken on the 25.
A very good punt, but a 16-yard return.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 45 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 1st down, Cotton, and he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, it's Mullins. Big hole up the middle, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far, but let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidence right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Point after, right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And they fake it. They pitch to the tight end. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
This defense going to bring out a couple extra DBs here on 3rd and a yard.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. This offense #1 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up 1st downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Play. Time has expired on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run the counter. Singleton. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. From the gun, he'll hand this off. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's the fullback with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Jackson. He finds his man complete. That's Burns. A little juke, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now Jackson. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And running with power here.
Partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Street. 5, 6. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some.
He'll try again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins are closing in now on a 7th straight win to start the year. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 7 yards the pickup there. So that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Miami set to take over, and they hope to polish things off. And what a run they are on as they try to turn a 6-game win streak into a 7-game win streak. They'll run on first down. Cotton. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. On second down now, Singleton. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Check 52.
Brings up 2nd and 11. At their 48-yard line.
Check. Hey, check motion man. Put your hands on him.
They'll keep it on the ground. Mullins. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On 3rd down, Singleton. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash, this from 53. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know...
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.